Some damn good dogs are headed to the NFL, but who's coming to Georgia?
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Hey, Rugiet ready. That's today's sponsor of the podcast. Rugiet, more on them in a moment. He is Daniel and Clint, together Locked On Bulldogs. Thank you for the everydayers that are here. If you want to become more of an everydayer, LockedOnBulldogs.supercast.com. Many of you are heading over there. Love interacting with you.
Sometimes twice a dayers. That's what the LockedOnBulldogs.supercast.com. You see what that is?
See
it's
what
even more than every day.
Exclusive content. Portal news is rapid. Stay up to date with what's going on over there. Today, Daniel and I are talking about some dogs that are damn good, that are no longer enrolled, no longer call Athens their home. They are going elsewhere. We're going to wish them well. We're going to talk about those departures. Then we're going to talk about, okay, who are we going to get to replace them? Because can I just say to you, it's a lot.
It's a lot to replace. And that's why I don't even know. We'll have to play by ear again. All these news episodes, we get to as much as we get to, but there's some guys, and there will probably be more declarations for the NFL draft.
There will be.
But there's some guys we need to talk about today who have been such an impact for the University of Georgia, for different reasons, that it is required that all of us just take a minute. Let's not be the kind of people that just rush ahead to the next thing, to whatever is the newest and trendiest and shiniest object. And let's just appreciate who these guys are and what kind of a team they have helped to create. Because some people are out there on social media saying Kirby Smart's system is broken, Clint. And I would like to unequivocally say, you're an idiot. And if you're listening to this, turn it off, unless you'd like to be made fun of every day by us. Because if you think Kirby Smart's system is broken, you have categorically misunderstood what it means to be fixed.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Kirby's not going to win in the NIL era, Daniel. Only if he would get on board with the NIL era, then he might win in that time. Loosen up the purse strings, you old man.
Hey, Daniel, he can't win anything if he doesn't get it.
Wait, do you know when the NIL came to be, and coincidentally when Kirby's two championships were?
To the best coach in college football? Were they at different times?
Nope.
No, they were at the same time? Okay.
Same time.
Well, when did Georgia win its last SEC championship? When did they win the one before that? Okay.
Back to back during that time?
Okay.
With
which year of the 12-team playoff did we miss the playoff? Which year was that?
Must have been the year with Alabama that we missed the playoff.
Oh, I see. Right. I understand.
Oh, no. It just so happens it doesn't fit your narrative, because this is my favorite. My absolute banger of a favorite has been Georgia can't keep 5-star receivers happy at Georgia. They all leave. Sure, we might be able to get 1 or 2, but man, Ohio State's 2025, 1 year on campus, all-world 5-star number 2 recruit in the nation, just entered the portal and is leaving Ohio State.
Oh. What about 5-star wide receiver Zachariah Branch? Does he not count?
No, he doesn't count.
He doesn't fit your narrative?
He doesn't.
Did he seem happy at Georgia?
Real happy.
You weren't happy because we were throwing him the ball.
I wish he
Remember?
I wish he would get the ball, but only if it's 10 to 12 yards down the field and stop me. his yards after catch are less than when he gets the ball 1 to 2 yards on the line of scrimmage.
Let's
Then
start
he
with
gets
Zachariah
29.
Branch. But
Okay.
before we do that, let's acknowledge that Alabama has so far had 3 former 5-star recruits on the defensive side of the ball enter the transfer portal.
I saw somebody. Keep talking. We can't really keep talking because I saw a stat today of 2023 class. 28 recruits in the 2023 class. Only 6 are left on campus in Tuscaloosa.
But Kirby Smart's system is broken.
It's broken.
Look at who's entering the portal. I'm not saying it's nobody because there are some people.
Thomas is a talented guy. Chris Jones, talented guy. Bo Hughley, talented guy.
But look at who it is. And now turn your attention toward Alabama and say, who's entering the portal over there?
Rusaw, who we were in a heated recruiting battle with Alabama. Heated. We wanted him. We came on here, talked about it. We liked our chances. We had guests. Goes to Alabama. He's in the portal right now. The top defenders for Alabama are all in the portal right now.
Okay. Let's talk about the Dogs going to the
Zachariah.
NFL. It's Zachariah Branch is where we're going to start. He did so much in one season for this Georgia football team. I almost got ahead of myself. It's not the third segment yet. For this Georgia football team, he did so much in one season. And I think what we're going to see is did so much for the actual narrative of wide receivers transferring to Georgia, right? This is a former 5-star wide receiver. This is
because we're going to get to another one.
An elite prospect. This is who's going to be a high-level NFL draft pick at wide receiver. And he comes to Georgia and he embraces the Kirby Smart way. You listen to Kirby talk about this guy, and he says, listen, we knew about him coming out of high school, but then he goes to USC and he's in the portal. And Kirby said, to be honest, I didn't really know that much about him until he got on campus. And then I said, oh, this guy wants to work. This guy will work.
Yep.
He wants to hit you. He's always in the facility. We can't get him to leave. That's who Zachariah Branch was. He was so instrumental in this offense this year. It cannot be overstated what he brought to this football team at a time when our offensive line was in complete and total shambles early in the year. Zachariah Branch often getting him the ball on the perimeter behind guys like Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp, who were not in total shambles. That was the offense, much to the chagrin of Georgia fans. Damn good dog. And somebody in the NFL, Clint, is going to get a guy who's going to be elite. He's going to be an elite NFL football player because he has the two things that you need to be an elite NFL wide receiver. And they are not a body like Julio Jones anymore. It's not Calvin Johnson's NFL anymore. No. That's not how it works. The two things that you need to be an elite wide receiver in the NFL are speed and toughness. And Zachariah Branch embodies both of those things tremendously. And, oh, by the way, he's got a great set of hands, too. Some of these catches that he made this year were unbelievable. He's going to shine in the NFL. Going to be sorely missed by the university.
Going to be sorely missed. He was the spark plug that helped quite a few fueling drives for us, got us out of a whole bunch of situations that the offensive line and a couple of things got us behind the chains on. He was an eraser. What we talk about C.J. Allen, by the way, we're going to talk about C.J. Allen because he declared as well. When he was an eraser on the defensive side of the ball, Zachariah Branch was an eraser on the offensive side of the ball, is able to take a play that might be poorly blocked. Doesn't matter to this cat. He has speed, he has hands, he has toughness. He's going to do great things in the NFL. Totally excited for him. We're going to need a whole bunch of wide receivers because he's not the only wide receiver that declared for the draft. We're going to be talking about those names.
Several more.
But first, these. Daniel, these are, in fact, FanDuel. FanDuel's fantastic. You know, right now, over to FanDuel because you and I both know that when you have a hunch, when you got a sneaking suspicion, when you're thinking to yourself, I think a player's going to get hot. I want to be live betting. I want to get in on the action. NBA, NHL, whatever you want to get on in, FanDuel has you covered. Talking about college basketball, talking about NBA, talking about playoffs. If you're looking
Is Trae Young playing? The Hawks will lose. Is Trae Young not playing? The Hawks will probably win. See, these are just simple principles you can apply on FanDuel.
FanDuel.com. Get over there right now because NBA happy hour is happening every single Friday before tip. Get on over there and take care of business. FanDuel is exciting for the weekend with Friday and the weekend time. NBA happy hour, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA.
Right, I wish it was just the one wide receiver. I wish it was just the two wide receivers.
I'd be okay. It would sting, but I would be okay. But no, Nary, I would be okay. It was the three wide receivers. It would sting a little bit. We talking about all them wide receivers gone.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Dylan Bell, Colby Young, Zachariah Branch, all out. A couple other guys, notable as well, tight ends. There's a lot of productivity that's going to be missed on the outside for Georgia next year. Guys, Colby Young, I think, is going to be a fine NFL addition. I think that he clearly, with the injury and with missing a whole year, still want to come back. He's going to prove somebody right. They're going to take a flyer on him. They're going to see that he has catch radius, that he has toughness, he has hands, and he has the ability to be on that outside threat. Not the same skill set clearly as Zachariah Branch, but I think come mid rounds, he's going to be a value pick that's going to make somebody look very, very, very smart. Remember, Luther Burton wasn't taken in the top 25.
Which is insane, by the way, because he's the best wide receiver in the SEC. It's insane. It's insane.
We knew that. You and I knew that and said, just go draft that guy and give him the ball and then sit back and enjoy yourself. It's fun. I'm not saying Colby Young and Luther Burton are the same skill set. What I'm saying is productivity and impact on a roster might be the same, overlooked for their skill set or for their lack of production. Luther Burton, very productive, but had some knocks and coming down the draft, as well as Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell's he's a fascinating draft prospect to me, truly fascinating. The floor and the ceiling for him is a spectrum that I can't define right now in the NFL. If you were to tell me in 5 years, Dylan Bell is better than 50% of the league, I believe that. If he was above average wide receiver, I believe that. If you were to tell me that he didn't quite make the roster on a couple of clubs, I believe that too. If you told me that he is leading his team in receptions, I would believe that as well. It is fascinating to me. It's wild, the spectrum.
If you told me in 5 years that Dylan Bell was the 5th best running back in the NFL, I would also believe that. I would legitimately believe that. That some GM drafts him and some coach looks at him and is like, you know what?
Hey,
I think you're a running back. What if you just do that?
Hey, kid, come on over here.
It's fitting. From the NFL side, I agree with everything that you said. I'm looking at it from the Georgia side, Clint. It's fitting we're talking about these two guys at the same time because I can't think of two guys that have brought more intangibly to Georgia than Colby Young and Dylan Bell. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that went through literal hell in Colby Young and then had persevered, stuck it out, and came back in spite of all the talk, in spite of all the whatever. Could have gone anywhere he wanted, but he came back to Georgia. He wanted to play for Gunnar Stockton. He wanted to run it back. And then you're talking about a guy that 8 games into the season breaks his leg, is on Instagram the next day saying, quit crying for me that I broke my leg. I'm going to live, and this team's going to be fine without me. And then he's over on the sideline coaching people up. He's over there coaching Noah Thomas up. He's over there he's coaching guys up, cheering for guys. And then he comes back, Clint, from a broken leg. And plays the whole Sugar Bowl. He went on a snap count, Clint.
No.
He played the whole dadgum game because that's who Colby Young is. But Dylan Bell is like that times 20. I cannot think. I'm going to ask you to try to think. I can't think of a Georgia player that I have 180'd on in one season more than Dylan Bell. There's nobody.
I mean, not for our affection of him, but for our take on him, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe CJ Allen before the preseason.
But see, I thought about CJ Allen. But I thought CJ Allen is a fine linebacker. I'm tired of people saying he's our best linebacker. Okay? Yeah. I'm going to say something that I'm not proud of right now, but this is a place of honesty.
This is transparent here.
I wanted Dylan Bell to be kicked off the team at the end of last season. I did not want him to return. I actively believed that the team was worse without him.
I can vouch for that.
That's not a bad take. That is a fundamental misunderstanding of everything that Dylan Bell is. I blamed Dylan Bell for so many things last year when Dylan Bell was put in so many positions to fail. Yep. And now this year, Dylan Bell is put in the position that he belonged in, the position where he could thrive. And guess what he did?
He thrived.
He led this team. He was a valuable member of this squad. We would have been so much worse without Dylan Bell. And it doesn't have to do with touchdowns or receptions or yards per catch or any of that. This team was better because of Dylan Bell. I've never been more wrong about a player in my Georgia fandom.
We're going to see the effects of Dylan Bell because right now, who is the best blocking wide receiver returning to the team next year, Daniel?
I don't feel comfortable answering the question.
It's not because Daniel lacks information on who is returning to the team.
No, I know the name. I know the names. I'm just
guys.
But here's the thing. Zachariah Branch is a better blocker than any of them as of right. And he's the worst blocker of the guys that are leaving.
Dylan Bell's impact on this team was felt up and down the offense at every single. Talk about a guy who again was an eraser. He erased a couple of bad drives. He was a guy that when nothing else was working, we tried throwing everything on the fire. Nothing was cooking. He comes in. He's another guy that gets things going.
How about the Ole Miss game, Clint? How about the catch in the Ole Miss game? I'm talking about, was it a great throw by Gunnar Stockton? Yeah, it was. Sure. But did Dylan Bell go up? That catch was. See,
it was everything.
That guy. Dylan Bell and Colby Young, two of my favorite players on this team, period. And Zachariah Branch, maybe our best offensive player. All three now gone to the NFL. The offense is going to be in flux. Now, there's talent. There's talent there. And there might be more talent coming. But there's talent there. Can it produce the way that these guys produced? Can the Georgia offense keep rolling the way that it did this year? Time will tell. But those guys will be sorely missed. We're going to talk about some of that talent that is coming back, that may be coming to Athens. We're going to talk about it on our next episode tomorrow. Next is the third segment. You should stick around for the third segment because
you need to. You
need to do it. Also, get on over to LockedOnBulldogs.supercast.com where the conversation keeps going. Bonus content over there. You get an invite to the text thread.
Just so you guys know, we've been given permission by everybody on that communication that Daniel and I are unhinged.
The fourth segment is completely unhinged. There are no rules in the fourth segment.
There are no rules. We can speak as freely as we want.
There are no rules. We may have a guest on the fourth segment at some point, Clint. Why not? Why wouldn't we? Okay. There are no rules in the fourth segment. All right, we'll be back right after this.
And this is, in fact, Rugiet. Let's talk about something that most men don't want to bring up. but absolutely should. Stress from money, work, life doesn't just switch off at night. Shows up at the worst time possible. Rugiet Ready is designed to help you take back control. It's next generation prescription treatment to support both the brain and the body so you can feel present, confident, and ready when the moment matters. Rugiet Ready combines clinically proven ingredients that just dissolve under your tongue so it absorbs fast. You've been thinking about taking the next step. Now's the time. Head to Rugiet.com, Locked On College. That's RUGIET.com/LockedOnCollege. 15% off your order for a limited time. Rugiet Ready. Feel present. Feel confident. Feel ready.
Clint, it's the third segment. Welcome to
Here
the
we
third
go.
segment. Georgia played a basketball game on Tuesday night.
Just
and
a
we're gonna talk
complete
about it.
forewarning. We're going to talk about a dissection. We need to talk about something.
Yeah.
We learn some things. Sometimes in life, Daniel, the worst thing that can happen after a loss is if you don't learn anything. You can lose. People lose in life.
I could sign something saying I taught something or I helped you teach something. I can't sign something saying I learned something because I actually knew all this already. So I'm not able to sign that.
If that's your attitude,
maybe stick around. Maybe stick around
because we gonna do some teaching.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Clint. Here's how I want to break this segment up. All right. May I? I want to talk about something coming out of this game in the big picture of Georgia basketball. Okay. Georgia loses to Florida. I think the final score was 92-75 or something like that. Georgia loses to Florida. It got away at the end. It's basically an 8 to 10 point game the entire second half. Georgia's cut it down a little bit tighter at that. They pulled away a little bit late at the end. It got sloppy. I mean, the ball got sloppy at the end. It got
sloppy.
Yeah. It's not necessarily indicative. It's a 1 point game at halftime. I want to talk about something in the big picture. By the way, if you think a loss on the road to Florida is bad in basketball, if you're using that as a reason to say this team isn't whatever, welcome to college basketball. I don't know what to tell you. So I want to talk about one thing that concerns you about this basketball team based on what you saw tonight moving forward. And I want to talk about one thing that encouraged you about this basketball team based on what you saw moving forward. So I'll let you choose either one of those to start with, but and then I'll follow you up.
I don't know. I learned something. It's hard for me because I want to combine these two things, Daniel.
Okay, that's fine. Do that.
Hands together. What?
Do that.
Here's what I learned.
The convalescence of things.
Convalescence, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I learned something about this UGA team on the inside defense for us.
Yeah.
And it is this. Without Samto Surreal, we are gutted, naked, and alone, shivering in the wilderness, wondering who will stop anybody from running down our throats and slamming it down the basketball hoop. I mean, we knew that we were short. We knew that we had some guys that could defend, and we did see some good defense. But against Florida is not elite with the rest of, but they are pretty dang good on the inside, Daniel. They got some very, very good tall guys, 4-5s.
I have comments about that, but yeah, go on.
Okay. Samto Surreal is pivotal for this team. And having him gone showed just how pivotal he is. We're scrappy. We can move things around. We were able to do some good things. But man, it is a lot easier with Samto Surreal in there. He is pivotal. So that's the first thing I learned from it. Second thing I learned, I think Blue Cane and because I think the first half was an absolute nightmare shooting for Blue Cane and everybody else that should have been on point.
Yeah. Wilkinson played his worst game at Georgia by far.
We were down 1 at half.
We had the lead late in it was back and forth game.
Back and forth the entire time. We got sloppy with turnovers. We handed the ball fast break. Second offensive rebounding for Florida was just the best stat that they had. They're going to turn on the film and be like, my gosh, we are so good on the offensive side of the glass. But even with all that went wrong, we were still competitive. And my last thing is this. I don't know how many people think that Smurf shouldn't be taken seriously because his name. That dude's a dang bucket getting fool. He is.
He's elite.
I love his addition to this team, where he's come from, how he brings a whole new level of play. When he's on the floor, things change for this Georgia team in entirety.
Yeah.
I learned those are the three things that I came away from this game with. And what about you? What did you learn? What did you get excited about?
What's concerning to me is I'll piggyback off Santos Cerullo, because if Santos Cerullo gets in foul trouble, and he didn't get in foul trouble today, but he got ejected from the game, it's basically the same thing. But we got a glimpse of what it's going to look like if Santos Cerullo gets in foul trouble. But guess what? The way Santos Cerullo plays, he's going to get in foul trouble when he goes against the elite bigs. Now,
correct.
Please, everybody lean in. Florida has the best front court in the SEC. Alex Condon is the best big man in the SEC, period. He might be the best player in the SEC. Okay.
It's high praise.
Florida has the best front court in the SEC. This was the game that we were already going to get murdered on the glass. This was the game that we were already going to struggle in. Of every game we play all season, this was the one game we could least afford for Santos Cerullo to get ejected 9 minutes into the game.
And he did just that.
So you shouldn't be surprised. What you should be surprised about is exactly what Clint just said, that we were down 1 at halftime. By the way, that was 11 minutes after he got ejected of game time. Over half of the first half we played without him, and yet we were down by only 1 at halftime. The wheels kind of fell off in the second half, but that's to be expected. Absam played some crazy minutes, more than he normally would play in this game. So that's the first thing that's a concern to me. Santos Cerullo foul trouble is something that Georgia's going to have to watch for constantly. The second thing that's a concern to me, and I don't know how to say this delicately, I'm not sure Cannon Catchings is good.
Oh, that's really disappointing to hear.
It's really discouraging, because this was the guy that I was most excited about that we got from the portal. You're talking about, Smurf and Wilkinson have been great. Again, Wilkinson had a terrible game today, but we've seen who he is. We've seen what he can do. Cannon Catchings just has not seemed comfortable in this offense. He has not seemed right all year to me. Hopefully he turns it around and gets it figured out. Clearly, Mike White still believes in him. He's still getting playing time. He's still making effort defensively. I don't hate what he brings in that regard, but that's a concern for me. That's a big concern moving forward, is how good is Cannon Catchings? Let me tell you some things that Georgia gets, quote unquote, blown out against a rival in basketball.
Sure.
I'll tell you some things I saw that were remarkably encouraging. The first one, we're down 1 at halftime. You already hit it. The second one, can we talk about Dylan James and how he played tonight? Dylan James was a freaking man down there. There were times when he was playing the 5 against the best big man in the SEC. Do you remember how I just said that?
I do remember how you just said that.
And he was playing his tail off in this game. I saw more out of Dylan James tonight. And he was another guy pressed into action in the absence of Cerullo, because he offers size and physicality, and he will work. He will at least work. He's still given up height to all 3 of Florida's bigs, are all taller than him. They're all bigger than him. They're all stronger than him. But man, that dude just... Sometimes Dylan James frustrates the crap out of me, because I don't think he's the most skilled basketball player in the world, but he more than makes up for it. And tonight he looked pretty dang skilled around the rim. He finished a lot, Clint, around the rim
16
in some
points,
tricky
6
situations.
rebounds, a block steal, 80% from free throw.
He played great tonight. And that, so based on what I just said, Cannon Catchings, what do we got there? And now, but then you pair that with Dylan James. We might be, those 2 guys, by the way, have the same body.
Yes, they do.
We might be looking at a flip. At some point, I'm just telling you, watch Dylan James minutes and watch Cannon Catchings minutes, and they might be headed in opposite directions. And so something to keep an eye on. Overall, this loss doesn't do anything to Georgia. we'll still be ranked based on this. But the schedule doesn't get any easier. We go to South Carolina on Saturday. By the way, a quad 1 win if we get it, which would be fantastic. But South Carolina is a tough, gritty basketball team. Winning SEC road games is going to be, in a word, ridiculous. It's very hard to win SEC road games, which is why getting that win against Auburn at home was so freaking critical. You cannot throw away home wins when you have them.
Nope.
Georgia just needs to go 500 in the league and we'll be a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament. If we go 500 in the league, I bet we're a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament, which would be the highest seed that Georgia has been in the NCAA tournament in a long time.
Yeah.
Since I was in college. That's how long.
Yeah. Stop yourself.
So I don't hate where we are. I think there are some positives to take away from this, but we have some deficiencies. We knew we had some deficiencies. And a team like Florida is just honestly, it's a tough matchup. And without Santos Real, it's an impossible matchup. It's just not it's not realistic.
I mean, 92-77 by the time all was said and done. We shot horribly from the stripe.
Shot horribly from 3.
Horribly from 3. We were still in this game. Now, earlier in the season, we had those, but we were against lesser competition, and we were winning those games. Same thing happened, but we got out of that funk earlier. I think we can get out of it again. There's still a lot left for this team, and we got a couple of guys that I'm excited. We're not just a one-trick pony. We have depth all the way up and down this roster. I think is exciting. We're going to come back as the portal.
Hold somebody under 90, though. We gotta. I need to see us not give up 90 points in a game. I need that in my life. I need it.
Why? Why did you?
You can't.
You're not
Here's the thing. If you take that away from him, I'm being dead serious. If you take that away from him, you lose a bunch of other stuff that you don't want to lose with it. It kind of comes with the territory. Sort of who he is. You can't put the bear in the cage. You know, like you got to let him.
Just not so blatant.
Yeah, he don't care.
You don't care.
A Florida guy's face deserves to be forearm shivered as much as anybody.
I hate Florida so much. I hate Florida as much as I hate the Sugar Bowl.
Brandon
Daniel. Upstate New York and Florida. They're the same place, just one with snow. He is Daniel. I'm Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. We'll be back tomorrow talking about them dogs. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.